Hello friends, welcome to another video on my YouTube channel, and in today's video you will learn how to use function calling functionality into Openai API calls for chat completion. And this is different from Openai Assistant. We are not going to create an assistant and provide functions that are being called, but instead we are going to make a plain Openai API call. As you can see that this is the endpoint on which we are going to make the call, and we pass some function and Openai will try to fill information into the function, and it will give us the extraction of the information from user's query. So basically functions or the tools are a way to extract information from user's query and do further actions. For example, if you want to extract user's name and email address from a conversation, you create a tool and you provide that please in the conversation try to ask the username and then try to ask the email address, and if both the information are filled then let me know. So we are going to do the same thing, but not extracting name and email. We'll do it in a different way. So let's get started. So I have this IPython notebook already prepared. Let's just walk through that. So I'll first import few things, and my model will be GPT 3.5 Turbo. And just to make sure that we are on the same page, at this point I'm just showing it using plain Openai API call using requests. Now this is my main function here. I'm trying to make sure that I retrieve the call in case something goes wrong. This is my main function. It takes messages, tools. This will be our functions, my tool choice as well, and model. So model is coming from here, GPT 3.5 Turbo. Here are some things for my request, my headers, and I'm using OS get env Openai API key, so it is inside my .env file, and here is an example of that Openai API key. You don't have to use this for this function calling. This is for my other project, and just to mention, the other project is I'm building a web UI on which you can talk to your assistant. So if you want to learn that, stay tuned on my space. Once the header is set, I'm using this messages and model to build my JSON data, which will be into the request. If the tool and tool choice is available, I'll append that into the JSON data. Otherwise, it is not used. And with that, I'll call Openai API chat completion endpoint, pass my header and JSON data. I get the response and I just return it. In case something goes wrong, I return the error. So this is the main function we are going to use. Now here is the interesting part. I have these two tools created. The first tool is a type of function. The function name is get current weather. The description is get the current weather. Now this is an interesting part. Parameter. It's a object which is type of, obviously it is a written object, and it has properties. Now these properties are the parameters that I want to extract. So I want to extract location, which will be of type string, and the description of it is that the city and state, an example San Francisco, CA. And the format that also I want to extract, which will be type string, and that format can be any of these enum. So it can be Celsius or Fahrenheit. And the description is the temperature you need to use. Infer this from the user's location. Okay. And you can see there is one more property which is required, and it is a list of the parameters that I want to extract. My next tool is the same replication of this get current weather, but I want to also ask the user for how many coming days you want to get the weather forecast. So for that I have added one more property, num of days, which is type of integer, and the description is the number of days to forecast. And I have make sure that I have put all these three into this required list. So let me run that as well. Now see what I'm doing here. My messages is an empty list, and I append first the system message, and the content is don't make let me write you are a helpful assistant. Okay, don't make assumption about the values to plug into functions. Ask for clarification if user request is ambiguous. Once I add that, I ask my first question, what's the weather like today? So obviously it's gonna call one of the function and make sure that it fill all the parameters. So when I run this, and obviously I'm going to call our function chat completion request. Whatever the response is coming, we JSONify that choice 0 and message. So let me do that. So you can see that the assistant has replied that sure, can you please provide me the name of the city and state where you want to know the weather. Now you understand that the assistant is trying to capture the information that is needed to call one of the function. So I'll say that I'm in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. So when I run this, you will see that we got tools call, some information, function name as well, and these are the arguments. The assistant has extracted Ahmedabad, Gujarat, and the format is Celsius because in India we use Celsius. Now you see here I'm trying to invoke the second tool, and for that I'm appending I'm trying to call the second tool, and for that I'm using the same system message. Okay, here let me put that. Yeah, same system message, and I'm saying that what is the weather going to be like in Ahmedabad, Gujarat for next 3 days. And when I say that, you will see that the function get end days weather forecast is invoked, and it has extracted the information from user's query, and we have clear things like the location, format, and number of days. Okay, and also you can see that at the runtime I'm passing the function that just use this function get end days weather forecast. So when I do that, it will ask for it will extract the information from the user's query. You can see it has extracted Toronto, Canada, Celsius, and number of days as well. Next, if I'm not passing the tool choice, let's see the result as well. Okay, you see it has called get current weather function and fill all the information. One more time, give me the current weather, use Celsius for Toronto, Canada. I'm specifying that. So you can see it has done that as well. And in this last, I'm saying that what's the weather going to be like in San Francisco, Glasgow over the next 4 days. So let's see how it goes. Yeah, you can see that it has extracted both the locations. San Francisco, CA, format Celsius and for next 4 days, and also Glasgow, format Celsius and number of days as well. So now what you need to do is that once you get these information, once you get these information, you format the response and pass it to the user. So this is how you can use function calling into plain Openai API calls. I'm sure you understand that this is different from the latest Assistant API. In my upcoming video, I'm going to talk about Assistant API as well. So watch my space for more such content. And if you like my work, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching. Peace.